Hi, welcome to VRC with Gaurav. In this video, we will take a look at passage 72 from the book RC 99 by Aristotle Prep. Let's dive into the passage. I have highlighted some words for you. This passage is actually pretty rich when it comes to using really good quality words. The context of discussion is regarding the voting rights being given to women. Okay. And actually, the fact that we need to know before the story starts of this passage that women having the right to vote has not been an idea which has stayed around forever. For a lot of time, for actually the first 120, 130 odd years of American democracy getting created, women did not have the right. Only men could vote. So women naturally had to struggle a lot to get the right to vote. There were protests, there was a lot of strong movement coming in. And finally, by the year 1920, by a special act of their government and uh, the ruling body in USA, finally the right to vote was given to women. Okay. Now this thing is called as the suffrage movement. Very important to the narrative over here. You can see that this word or various forms of this words are repeating here and there throughout the passage. Suffrage or this movement was actually, as I have written over here, is right of women to vote in election and the fight. If a person is fighting to get women the right to vote, that guy can be called as suffragist. Okay. So what we have over here is throughout the passage, I've highlighted these words and given their explanation, given their meanings via this glossary. Before we go and try to crack the passage or attempt it, I would strongly recommend that you go through the meaning of each and every word so that you can understand the narrative, you can understand the thought process which the author is trying to put before you. Okay. Another important word that we need to know in this passage is this word enfranchisement. Okay. Again, this means what I've explained over here, giving the right to vote. Okay. And suffrage, women suffrage, again, right to vote, right of women to vote in elections. So these two words, you can claim that they're very close to each other in meaning. Overall, the context of the entire passage is very singular in nature. Discussion around the point of women wanting the right to vote. And the author has also given his opinion in a particular place. Let's go ahead, take a look at what the passage says, and then we'll go to the question. As you can see, the length of the passage is actually fairly comprehensive, and the amount of information that the author has dished out is also quite a lot. So this video might go a bit longer than a usual ones, which range around some 15, 16 minutes. I suspect that this could go longer than 20. Okay. So I hope that you stay tuned in. Let's dive into what the passage tells us. Okay. So in the first paragraph, author is saying, ये जो movement था, trying to get women the right to vote, it was political, of course, in nature, but beyond that, it had a lot of ज्ञान वाला टोन्स ऑल्सो. ओके. यहाँ पे ऑथर ने जो लिखा है ना, इवेंजलिज्म, इवेंजेलिकल टोन था उसका. पॉलिटिकल तो था ही, बट नेचुरल, द वर्ड इटसेल्फ मींस वोट वगैरह, तो वी आर डिस्कसिंग पॉलिटिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट मिक्स अप. बट द ऑथर सेज दैट people who were fighting for this right to vote, you had a wide spectrum of opinion coming in. Okay. The author has used the word ekdam eclectic. Eclectic meaning nikalta hai ki very broad, very diverse in nature. So on one hand, you have people making very rational arguments that, yeah, dekho, women are also human beings. So for the sake of their humanity, for the sake of considering them equal, please give them the right to vote. Okay. But on the other hand, you have people making some random excessive claims. Some people even went as far as preaching, यार women ना superior creatures है, उनके जो virtues है वो आदमी से, मेल से, men से कई ज्यादा ऊपर है, तो फीमेल मॉरल सुपीरियरिटी इज मच हायर, तो इसलिए अभी इनको वोट करने का पावर दो. तो ऑथर इज पोर्ट्रेइंग बिफोर अस इन द फर्स्ट पैरा, you have a very wide range of opinion going on. Some are being rational, some are going a bit overboard. Okay. Taking the narrative forward, in the second paragraph, author is saying कि जो सफरेजिस्ट थे, people who are fighting for this right to vote, they are exploiting political rhetoric. In our other videos also, we have taken a look at what this word rhetoric means. I'm repeating it once again. Using very persuasive, very convincing language, but generally it is just ornamental in nature, doesn't have a lot of depth or content to it. Okay. So what this paragraph tells us is कि जो लोगों को ये वोट चाहिए था, जो लोगों को ये हक चाहिए था, पीपल वर फाइटिंग फॉर इट, उन्होंने अमेरिकन कल्चर के बहुत सारे जो प्रोमिनेंट पॉइंट्स है, प्रोमिनेंट स्टोरीज है, दे मेड अ लॉट ऑफ गुड यूज ऑफ इट, खुद के कन्विंसिंग आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. ओके. एंड ऑथर इज सेइंग दैट दे वर वेरी इफेक्टिव इन डूइंग दैट. They are using a very wide range of narratives. You can see stories of new beginnings, brave struggles, repentance and renewal, blah 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 blah. A lot of American culture के points to forward, to push forward their own purpose. And what is their purpose? Women को right to vote दो. अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, okay. So regarding this approach, we don't really know what the author has to say about it. It doesn't look like that the author is supporting what these guys did, nor is the author taking the effort to show that he is dead opposed to this. It seems like the author has just put forward this fact before us and not giving us his opinion very easily. Nonetheless, let's go ahead. What is given to us here is some people went really overboard. For example, one guy way back in 1903 arguing that कि आप women को right दे दो voting का, तो white लोगों का supremacy फिर से आ जाएगा US society. So maybe this guy seems like a very insecure white person and he thinks that giving women the right to vote will ensure कि white people का वापस power establish हो जाएगा समाज में. Okay, okay, ठीक है. Seems a bit vague actually. But then on the other hand, author is saying कि educated लोग भी थे इस group में, and thankfully overwhelming majority of people in this suffragist gang was well educated and they use rational arguments when putting forward their demand for the right to vote. They believe that women are a really good vehicle, a very good engine for social change. One thing that they also hoped, now we don't know whether this turned out in reality kis tarike se, but before that they were hoping that women as a whole, as a group, will behave in a united manner when they go out to vote. They believe that women would vote en bloc. En bloc meaning as a group, झुंड में. Okay, pointing out sort of थोड़ा सा herd mentality. And author is saying कि इन लोगों का belief था कि that will be for the good of humanity, that will be for the good of our overall society also. ठीक है, ठीक है. Some idealistic thought process going on here, but चलो at least reasoning जो दिया है rational. Okay, all right. Fourth and fifth paragraph is where the story goes a bit forward. In the fourth paragraph, author has now jumped in with his own opinion regarding this, and he is clear-cut supporting the right to vote given to women. He has clearly said that suffrage is to individual, meaning voting right is to the individual, what sovereignty is to states, meaning एक कंट्री को आजादी जितनी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट एक इंडिविजुअल को राइट टू वोट होता है. And in any democracy you take, the right to vote, the franchise is an indispensable feature. मतलब आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि आप लोगों को right to vote नहीं दे रहे हो. अगर आपकी एक अच्छी डेमोक्रेसी आपको बनाना है, it is a basis for democratic political life. Even if your democracy is not perfect, but please give it to the people. This is where the author stands. ठीक है, okay. Last paragraph is where a sort of googly comes in. तो देखते हैं क्या बोलता है ऑथर यहाँ पे. ऑथर इज सेइंग कि देखो हुआ ये कि अमेरिका में विमेन को राइट टू वोट देने के पहले मजे की बात है इमिग्रेंट्स को और ब्लैक पीपल को वोटिंग पावर दे दिया गया, which seems a bit mind boggling. Okay, यहाँ पे सेकंड लाइन में दिया है that American men choose to enfranchise Negroes fresh from slavery before giving that vote to American wives and also European immigrants को भी दे दिया आपने right to vote, even though these guys have not settled in America properly, they are unfamiliar with American terms, conditions, their culture, blah blah blah. तो क्या हुआ कि उस टाइम पे जो सफरेजिस्ट थे, जो पुश कर रहे थे getting women the right to vote को, these guys started exploiting this fact a lot. ये लोग इस मुद्दे को ऐसा उछालने लगे कि देखो देखो, तौबा तौबा, कैसा काम करते हैं लोग कि परायों को राइट टू वोट दे दिया, बट हमारे घर की माँ बेटियों को वोट नहीं देते ये लोग, राइट? हिंदी में सुनकर कितना ड्रामेटिक लगता है ना? दैट इज एक्चुअली व्हाट हैपेंड, दिस इज व्हाट द पैराग्राफ इज टेलिंग, कि परायों को वोटिंग पावर दे दिया और अपने घर के ही विमेन को ये लोग पावर नहीं दे रहे वोटिंग का, विच इज सो रॉन्ग, सो रॉन्ग। तो क्या हुआ, इस बात को लेकर तब वो जीत तो गए, ओके, सफरेजिस्ट ने इस बात का बहुत मुद्दा उछाला, they exploited the anti-immigrant thought process, the anti-immigrant groups in the society. There, of course, were some people who were quite anti-black in their nature. तो उन लोगों का भी इमोशंस को एक्सप्लॉइट किया किसने? इन सफरेजिस्ट्स ने, ओके। बट एंड दिस इज वेयर द ऑथर ऑल्सो सीम्स टू टेक अ स्टैंड। ऑथर सेज कि ये फैक्ट को अब आज के तारीख में रिपेंट करते हैं आज की फेमिनिस्ट और आज के हिस्टोरियंस, कि जो भी ये किया ना सफरेजिस्ट ने, इस तरीके का ओपिनियन ट्विस्टिंग, मुद्दा उछालना, जो इमिग्रेंट और ब्लैक लोगों के वोटिंग पावर का, ऑथर इज सेइंग कि आज की तारीख में ये अप्रोच रिपेंट किया जाता है, अच्छा नहीं माना जाता। ठीक है, एंड रिजल्ट जो चाहिए था वो तो मिल गया, विमेन गॉट द राइट टू वोट विच द अदर इज बिलीविंग, अदर बिलीव्स कि होना ही चाहिए, बट कहीं ना कहीं अप्रोच आप देख सकते हो बहुत ट्विस्टेड पॉलिटिकल हो गया, okay. So with that in mind, wrapping up the passage narrative in a couple of sentences, author is saying that women fought in a lot of different ways to get voting power. Author himself is dead supporting this, but as far as the approach, the method for getting this power is concerned, काफी 19-20 अप्रोच रहा है. Some people were really bullshit in their arguments, some people were really very good and rational, and there was a group of suffragists, there was a people जिन्होंने ऑब्जेक्शनेबल तरीके से मुद्दा उछाला देश में, which is explained to us in the last paragraph. Okay, so wrapping up this discussion and let's go to the questions now. I hope that you have understood the passage and I hope that you will have a good time in the questions also. Let's take a look at the first question. What is the author saying here? In the context of the passage, political rhetoric used in the second paragraph refers to what? Okay, let's highlight it. What is the author talking about in the second paragraph here? Okay, I'm highlighting it. Clear cut लिखा है इन्होंने, author ने यहाँ पे, leading suffragists exploited rhetoric, convincing language का जबरदस्त इस्तेमाल किया to fulfill their own purpose, to fulfill their goal. Okay, लोकल कल्चर की, अमेरिकन कल्चर की बातों को बढ़िया अपने फायदे में लेकर अपनी बातों में इन्वॉल्व करके खुद का काम निकाला है. ओके, सो फॉर दिस द आंसर ऑप्शन हैज टू बी आंसर ऑप्शन, what it might be, it goes to option B. Okay, suffragettes, meaning female suffragists. Okay, जो लेडीज फाइट कर रही थी वोटिंग पावर के लिए, उनको हम सफरेजेट लिखेंगे. तो उनका इफेक्टिव प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ अमेरिकन आइडियोलॉजी, एंड हाउ डू वी डिराइव दिस वर्ड अमेरिकन आइडियोलॉजी? वी गेट इट फ्रॉम ऑल दीज वर्ड्स रिटन ओवर हियर. अमेरिकन नैरेटिव्स, बिब्लिकल एंड सिविक, स्टोरीज ऑफ न्यू बिगिनिंग्स, ब्रेव स्ट्रगल, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. तो ये सारी अमेरिकन आइडियोलॉजी की चीजें, कल्चर की चीजें, जिनको इफेक्टिवली उन्होंने यूज किया. और क्यों? क्योंकि उनको पॉलिटिकल गेन्स चाहिए थे, क्योंकि उनको जीतना था खुद की लड़ाई. Okay, that is why option B is correct here. That is what the author is talking about in the second paragraph. Option C, the third one, comes a bit close marginally, but गलत इसलिए है because of the usage of words here. एक तो circumlocution. Circumlocution means आप बहुत लंबी चौड़ी बात करो, घुमा फिरा के बात करो, जब दो शब्दों में काम हो सकता है. That is called as circumlocution. Generally, if you are calling somebody as being engaging in circumlocution, so you are implying that this guy is being evasive, this guy is not talking to the point, घुमा रहा है. So in a way, it's a negative word. Okay, so author नहीं, sorry, option C is saying कि ये जो फीमेल सफरेजिस्ट थे, इन्होंने हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट्स और स्टोरीज को बहुत घुमाया, लंबी चौड़ी कहानियां बनाए. क्यों? in an attempt to confuse voters. Now this is where this option stumbles. कंफ्यूज नहीं किया जनता को, खुद के नैरेटिव में इफेक्टिवली यूज किया और जीत गए खुद की लड़ाई. दैट्स इट. कंफ्यूज वोटर्स इज रॉन्ग यूसेज, ये गलत लिखा है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाई ऑप्शन सी गोज आउट. A, D और E actually काफी easy to eliminate है. So that is why I will not discuss those options. However, if you still have any doubts regarding those, please put them in the comment section. I'll be more than glad to help you. So I hope that you got the explanation for the first question, why option B is correct. Let's move on to the next one. As a side fact, in America, women got the right to vote in 1920. In Britain, they got the right to vote in 1928. And shortly a year after, इंडिया में भी ब्रिटिश रूल्ड प्रोविंसेस में 1929 में दे दिया गया. और जब हमें इंडिपेंडेंस मिला तब तो सभी लोगों को, सारे एडल्ट्स को अवेलेबिलिटी थी राइट टू वोटिंग की. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज, स्टैंडर्ड टर्म है. और बिकॉज वी गॉट इट राइट फ्रॉम डे वन ऑफ अ डेमोक्रेसी, इसलिए ये फैक्ट कुछ लोगों को थोड़ा अटपटा या अनफेमिलियर लग सकता है. यार विमेन नॉट वोटिंग, ये क्या है, हक नहीं है वोटिंग का. But it was the truth of a society for a long time. Okay. Next question: with which of the following statement would the author most likely agree? Going by the information present in passage, एक बात तो sure है, author supports women voting rights. Approach को लेकर he might be a bit not happy if your approach is bullshit. If your approach is talking some random bullshit stuff, or if it is a bit underhanded, like in the last paragraph. Okay. सो ऑप्शन बी तो सबसे पहले आप एलिमिनेट कर सकते हो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे लिखा है ड्यू टू देयर लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन द सफ्रेजेट्स, जबकि थर्ड पैराग्राफ में क्लियर कट वी आर गिवन दैट द सफ्रेजिस्ट वर ओवरवेलमिंगली ड्रॉन फ्रॉम द रैंक्स ऑफ एजुकेटेड. मतलब ये लोग मेजरली एजुकेटेड थे. ऑप्शन बी तो फैक्चुअली पूरा ही उल्टा चल रहा है. ओके, आंसर ऑप्शन सही रहेगा, फोर्थ ऑप्शन डी. ऑथर would agree with this statement. The end result which suffragettes achieved, meaning that women getting the right to vote, is essential to maintaining a democratic society. हाँ चलो ठीक है, एंड रिजल्ट जो मिला वो बहुत जरूरी था, एनीवे मिल गया, बहुत अच्छी बात है, चलो आगे. ओके, प्रोसेस के ऊपर, मेथड के ऊपर कमेंट्री नहीं कर रहा है डी ऑप्शन, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी कैन सेफली मार्क इट एज द आंसर. ओके, बाकी अदर ऑप्शन में there is a commentary regarding the methods by which this voting power was achieved, but हमें, as I said, हमें clear idea नहीं है कि author कहाँ पर lie करता है. We are just making a guesswork that author might not like bullshit approaches. Okay, so option A is unnecessarily negative in the sense it is saying कि suffragette exploitation was a severe violation of moral principle. Now, author has nowhere mentioned moral principles or what he thinks about the way the approaches this guys. So that is why option A we get to throw out very easily. Option C, again going overboard with its optimism, sort of. The suffragists were ahead of their time by believing blah blah blah. No way, no way. Ahead of time होना मतलब समय के पहले कुछ बातें करना जो शायद उस समय के हिसाब से ठीक ना हो, बट आगे चल के जो सही प्रूव हो. Okay, that is called as ahead of the time. So technically speaking, being ahead of time एक प्रकार से एक appreciation, एक compliment ही है generally, but whether the author is appreciating this thing, not clear anymore. Okay, और ऑप्शन ई तो बिल्कुल उठा के फेंक दो आप. ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सफ्रेज मूवमेंट वाज अनडाउटेडली नेगेटिव. हेल नो, ऑथर ने क्लियर कट बोला है वोटिंग पावर चाहिए और है समाज में तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. So E is going exact opposite to the author. That is why D becomes the right answer. Okay. So I hope that you have got this question properly. It was easy actually once you get the hang of the passage. All right. Let's go ahead. Okay. Passage implies that modern day feminists and historians. Oh, last paragraph में यहाँ पे जो लिखा है कि modern day feminists और historians आज के तारीख में गम मनाते हैं इस चीज का. They are not very happy with what? कुछ सफ्रेजिस्ट लोगों ने ये जो निग्रो और इमिग्रेंट वाला मैटर को जिस तरीके से अब्यूज किया था या फिर पॉलिटिकली यूज किया खुद के फायदे के लिए, उस बात से ये लोग नाराज हैं, नॉट खुश. सो question is asking, passage implies what they would mostly feel regarding the tactics used by the suffragists. So they won't support it. Okay, they might support end result जो निकला, बट प्रोसेस को बिल्कुल सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, एंड दैट is properly explained to us through option C. That yeah, okay, it is effective, but compromise the integrity of their pursuit. कि जिस तरीके से आपने काम किया ना, ये मॉरली ठीक है, तो आपने कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर दिए खुद के मॉरल्स को, बिकॉज आप एक ग्रुप को ट्रैश करके खुद की इक्वालिटी ऊपर उछालना चाहते हैं. बट आइडियली कैसा होना चाहिए, दैट इफ यू आर समबडी हु बिलीव्स इन इक्वालिटी, सो यू शुड नॉट बी ट्रैशिंग अदर पीपल. You should not be putting other groups down in order to get your own agenda. You should be like कि हम भी आगे बढ़ेंगे, हमको भी equality दो, बाकियों को भी दो. That is the ideal approach one should have in movements like this. But you can see from the fifth para, काफी political approach हो गया, which is something which this today's historians and feminists would not be happy with. Option A comes close to being the answer, but gets kicked out because of the first word that it uses. Okay. सेकेंड आप इसका सही है कि इट हर्ट द माइनॉरिटीज सच एज इमिग्रेंट्स एंड ब्लैक पीपल, डेफिनेटली, बट वैलिड नहीं बिल्कुल बोलेंगे हम उनके मेथड्स को. हमें क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा जा रहा है कि फेमिनिस्ट आज के और हिस्टोरियंस आज के कैसा बोलेंगे इनके मेथड्स को. तो नो, दे विल नॉट कॉल देयर मेथड्स एज वैलिड, रादर दे आर सेइंग कि उनके मेथड्स ठीक नहीं थे. कॉलिंग या मेथड्स वैलिड मतलब भाई तुमने जो किया अच्छा किया, आगे बढ़ो. नो, दिस गाइज विल से यार ब्रो तुम लोगों के मेथड्स इनवैलिड है, बट ठीक है अब रिजल्ट मिल गया मन जैसा. सो ए बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता. ओके. ई तो हॉरिबल ऑप्शन है, एब्सोल्युटली वैलिड एंड जस्टिफाई, एंड दैट दे वुड हैव डन द सेम थिंग. हेल नो. ओके, बिल्कुल नहीं. और बी और डी तो आप डेफिनेटली कैंसल आउट कर सकते हो, दे आर वेरी वेग, गोइंग इवन टैंजेंशियल टू द एंटायर डिस्कशन. ओके, so with that thing we are done with the three questions. I hope that you understood the narrative in the passage and all three questions. Nonetheless, if you have any doubts, please put them in the comment section. Very happy to help you all. All right. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.